Okay, hi. I'm just looking to see if anybody's popping in here. I'm trying again. Not sure how well this is going to go. Okay, if you're here, let me know that somebody's in the chat room here. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay live because my computer just doesn't want to cooperate with me. If you're here, can you hear me? Let me know that you are in here. I see there's 4 people here. Let me know who you are. So I was looking today on the Weight Watchers website because, as you know, hi Diane. I'm an online only member, and I forget that I can go on the website and see what their weekly, they call it the weekly focus. I think it's what you guys get in the meetings. Hi Barb. So the weekly focus is they're back to defining your why. Why do you want to do this journey, and setting goals based on your why. I wasn't going to meetings when they were talking about that. Hi Donna. So I'm not quite sure what they covered in the meeting rooms or anything, but that's something I have to revisit. Oh, thanks, Barb. It's kind of a happy, sad week for me. This is Thursday. I'm sort of dreading Thursday, but so I've been revisiting why I'm doing this. I haven't come up with any answers yet. I am doing part of it. Like, I set small goals, and I readjust my goals as I need to. But have you guys really defined what your why is? Why you're really doing this? When I first started out, it was because I wanted my husband to be proud of me, and he was. Every pound I lost, he was proud of me. And then it became more focused about me. About, I wanted to do it just because I needed to get healthier. I needed to bring my blood pressure down, because for years my blood pressure was in the stroke range. And I think that's still one of my whys, although my blood pressure is normal now, which is a huge, huge accomplishment. So Barb wants to feel younger and move better, be healthier. Diane wants to be proud of herself. Well, Donna, you have an excuse to gain some of that back. Isn't open heart surgery? I know when my aunt had it, her whole chest was opened up, and she was in rehab for a long time. But praise God, you came through it. My brother-in-law had open heart surgery about a year ago. They didn't think he was going to make it, but he's still kicking. So yeah, I think part of our why is all of us can say that, yeah, we want to be healthier. But how do you define that? How do you define being healthier? Is it connected to your waistline? Is it just connected to your medical reports? Or how do you define being healthier? I guess that's my question. I'm not quite sure how I define it for myself. I know that a friend of mine asked me actually yesterday if how I feel having lost 77.1 pounds. And I had to think about it. I feel thinner. I feel lighter. Um, Beyond that, I don't think about it that much. I mean, I do think about it every day because I weigh in every single day, but I don't think about how it makes me feel. All I know is my clothes are fitting really loose now, and I guess I do feel healthier. Diane, do you think weighing in helps you stay focused? I had blood work done last month. They told me my blood counts were like perfect. I was like, yeah, I know, right? So I find that because I weigh in every day, I'm more focused on what I need to do. So yeah, I couldn't either. I every now and again I think I'm not gonna step on the scale today. I'm not, but then I do, because then it would, if I didn't, it would drive me insane not knowing what the figures were for that day. Hi Kim, how are you? So the lady that lives below me told me today that if I walk around the pond 6 times, that's a mile. So I've been walking around. What I started doing was, when I take the dog out, when I first got here, I would walk around once, then come back up here. But now I'm walking around twice, and before I come back up with her. And if I'm thinking once it starts cooling off for good, um, I'll try to see if I can walk her around 3 times. She's a little dog, so sometimes 3 times is going to be too much. So, Diane, you gave your daughter your scale to hold, and you went and got it. I have a scale every place I go. When I went out to Idaho, I bought a scale, and that was a year ago when I went out there. So it was there when I got out there, this past winter. And when I went to Oklahoma to visit my son down there, I bought a scale for down there. So I have a scale there. When I was staying at my son's apartment up here, I had my Weight Watcher scale that I had at our condo. So I just left it there. And when I moved in here, actually, when I went to South Carolina this summer to visit my brother, I bought another scale to take with me when I went camping, so I could weigh myself every day when I went camping. Yeah, that's right. Half scale will travel. It's just like, it's something I have to have with me. If I were going someplace where I was staying overnight, like a hotel room, I would pack my scale in my bag to weigh myself. So I don't know. Am I being overly obsessive? It would just drive me crazy not to know what I weigh every day. Even I think when I end up going back to meetings, because I plan on doing it, going back to meetings, I think I will still weigh myself every day. And I'm curious to see how my scale lines up with the Weight Watchers scales. Um, I weighed when I went to the doctor last week. I weighed myself just before I left to see what my scale said, and they were pretty close. It was like within like 0.3 of a pound. So, Kim, you couldn't weigh yourself every day? I started weighing myself every day on January 1st, 2016. And for the most part, I have weighed myself every single day. Now, there were a few days, and I didn't, like around the time that my husband died, I did not get on the scale. Um, I I couldn't eat for at least a week after he died. I was just too upset. Same thing after my son passed away. I didn't weigh myself every day then either, because, well, your nerves just get to you. So, but yeah, for every day, pretty for the most part, for the last 3 years, I have weighed myself every day, and I have an Excel spreadsheet in my computer where I log my weight every day on the computer. I only log it on the Weight Watchers app once a week, but I log in on my computer every day so I can see, and I have all kinds of information on there. For I was really interested in my BMI to see to see where I was with the with my BMI. When I first started, my BMI was 50, and today it's 35. So, oh Diane, I'm so sorry. Wow, you were young. Hi Gina, how are you? I tried to find you when you went live today, but I for some reason it wouldn't let me connect to you. Hi Karen. Um, yeah, Diane, we should talk. It hasn't been an easy couple years. I was sitting here thinking today that, of course, with my wedding anniversary coming up on Thursday, and I saw some things on my Facebook memories that popped up from 2 years ago, which was just a little over a month before he passed away. We had our 30th wedding anniversary, and never did I think I was going to lose him in a month. So it hasn't been easy. And today I've been looking at my wedding photos and stuff, and just remember, trying to be happy, remembering the good things. But you know, I'm just sad because he's not here, and I miss him every day. So yeah, you kept telling me you were going live, Gina. So I kept trying to click in, and then you weren't there. It kept saying waiting for Gina. And I said, yeah, you're not the only one. So Thursday, a friend of mine from church is taking me to lunch, and then I bought a mum plant that after lunch I'm going to go over and I'm going to put that at the cemetery. So I hung some wind chimes over there the other day that I'll leave until it starts getting to be winter, which here in northern Ohio could be like next week. But um yeah, I don't know what else I'll do. I'm going to try to stay busy on Thursday. Just I do want to go visit him at the cemetery, but then I need to leave and be busy doing something else. So that's why I was thinking maybe I was going to see if I could afford to get another bushel of tomatoes and can some more tomatoes this weekend. But I don't know. My husband died 3 days after he turned 67. And, my husband was sick for a long time. He had cancer for 17 years. Bless his heart. He went through a whole lot in 17 years. But the day that he died was just surreal. I mean, I had taken him in for his chemo treatment, and I had dropped him off. And it's down in the next town from here where I had to take him. I had dropped him off, and whenever he went every week, and so whenever I left, I would kiss him on the forehead and I'd say, "Don't cause any trouble today," and he kind of grin and say, "Yeah, yeah, you know me," and that was the last time I kissed him. So he complained of a headache when he was there, and they ended up taking him to the emergency room right from there. By the time I got down to the hospital, he was totally unresponsive. So, and then they had to life flight him to a different hospital. And I was sure when we got to the other hospital, he was going to be sitting up in his bed and complaining that he was in the hospital because he hated the hospital. I mean, it was the last thing I expected that day. I knew he was getting weaker. I just didn't expect it to go like that. In some ways, I'm glad. I don't know why I'm talking about this because it's going to make me cry. Some in some ways, I'm glad it happened the way it did, because he would have not wanted to lay in a hospital bed with people coming in watching him die. Wow, you were a widow at 29. Yeah, my children, I had 5 children, and they were older. Well, my youngest was had just turned 19 after he died. So, and then 5 months after that, my second oldest son committed suicide. So, when I say a year ago I was not in a good place, I wasn't. I mean, I kept doing my YouTube videos. I wasn't really losing weight. Matter of fact, I was gaining weight. Uh, I came home last September, and I had put 20 pounds back on after I went back out to Idaho. That damn macaroni and cheese truck that they had every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night there in town did me in. I'm not quite sure what it was that kind of turned me around. Well, I think I can. I reconnected with an old friend who just reassured me things were going to be okay, and we shared a lot of good conversations, and I think that friendship really kind of turned things around for me. Didn't make me feel quite so isolated. But anyway, I don't know why I got off on that subject. It's hard not to think about it this time of year. But so anyway, getting back to my original topic, how often do you guys reset your goals? Like, as you all know, I right now have my goal is to be into Wonderland by my birthday, which is I think in 3 weeks, on October 11th. I want to be in Wonderland, and as of today, I have to point 0.8 as of today to lose. Point 0.8. I weigh in the day after tomorrow. I don't know that I'll make it this week or not. I was hoping to. Last week I only had a point 0.3 loss, or I shouldn't say only. Sandy always says don't say only. I had a point 0.3 loss last week. The week before that I lost 4. So I have really, really been staying on track, doing everything I know to do to get down there. Diane, what are you canning right now? Donna, you have 30 pounds to go. Oh, you're canning. What kind of soup? I'm going to be canning chicken soup here in a couple weeks. I have to wait to get my pension check at the beginning of the month so I can go buy some more jars. Cabbage soup. I have a jar of cabbage soup in my refrigerator that I've been eating all week. And it smells so good when you're doing it too. I used to can bean soup for my husband because he loved bean soup. He and I were about the only ones that ate it. I canned French onion soup, of course, chicken soup, and chicken broth. Gina, I'm glad I'm able to push you. Um, I haven't canned everything yet. I had my marathon canning session that started a week ago, um, but I don't have everything canned yet. Some things I have to wait because they're not in yet. I've done all the corn I'm going to do, and I've done all the chicken I'm going to do, but the pumpkins aren't in yet. We had a really wet spring here, so a lot, and a wet summer, so a lot of the some of the crops are late. So I haven't canned any, or I freeze peppers usually, but I haven't done any of that yet either. I don't know that I'm going to do any dill pickles this year, just because pickles are starting to go out. And hi, Marge. Okay, Marge, where in Michigan are you? Karen, I think canning is therapy for me. It's something that I always enjoyed doing after when my kids were little, and I think first of all, it takes my mind off of eating junk, and it's weird, but it relaxes me. It's a good tired that I get after I'm done canning. Okay, so where is Lowell or Grand Rapids area? So you're a ways away from me. So, Marge, are you a U of M fan or are you a Michigan State fan? Well, Barb, I don't think canning is difficult to learn. I pretty much taught myself. My mom never did it, and I had an aunt that did a lot of canning, and that's really what made me want to do it. Yeah, canning soup. That's like one of the big things that I do. Your son was in the MSU marching band. My daughter was in the University of Oklahoma marching band. I'll tell you what, there's nothing like a good college marching band. So the one year that she was in, we went down to one of the games for Parents Night or Parents Day, and we actually got to march into the stadium with the band. It was so cool. Of course, being a music teacher, that was kind of a big thrill of mine anyway. But uh, yeah, I love college marching bands. So I've never done corn chowder. I tend to do the more simple things. Uh, I love corn chowder, but I stay with the like the chicken broth or the chicken soup or the vegetable soups. Like I said, I did French onion soup. I've done bean soup before, so I like to have a lot of broth on hand, for cooking. So, oh, minestrone. I would love to have your minestrone recipe and your chowder recipe. I have canned chili. Well, that's a good idea, using all the vegetables and turning it into soup. I've got a bag of vegetable scraps that I have in the freezer right now that I need to turn into soup. But I'm waiting to get a couple of rotisserie chickens, and then I'll debone that and throw that in for the to make the vegetable soup out of that. So yeah, the chili that I made didn't last very long. The kids got a hold of that, and I cut my pumpkin into chunks and can it, because you can't, in a home canner, you can't do pumpkin puree. But when I want to bake a pie, I'll just open up a can of pie or a can of pumpkin. But I use pumpkin a lot to cook with in the to replace fat with stuff. Like in cakes, you can use pumpkin instead of the oil. Um, and I think also I use it sometimes. I just open up a can. I'll make a pumpkin mash. I'll add some spices to it. Sometimes it's a savory, and sometimes it's sweet. But anything that you would use applesauce for, you could use pumpkin for. So I used to do that too, Donna, when I had my big freezer. But right now, since I'm in the apartment, I only have the freezer that comes with the refrigerator. Although I have been looking at a smaller chest freezer at Walmart. I'm thinking about it. So I'm going to be doing a canning video coming up on when I do my grape juice in a couple weeks. Grape juice is super, super easy to do. So anyway, so we sort of got off topic. I was talking about goal setting and have you rethought your why do you do this journey? Because on the Weight Watchers website, that's like the uh, focus of the week. Make sure you know why you're doing what you're doing. Yeah, I do eat well, and canning does help. And I just love going in and pulling something off the shelf. But my goal really is totally selfish. I can because in the wintertime, I don't want to go out to the grocery store. Your why gets lost when you get tired. Good health. So, Kim, how do you define good health? So, I think good health is different for everybody. Feel more comfortable in clothes. Yeah, my closet's looking pretty sad right now. My substitute teaching position was approved by the Board of Education last night. So as soon as I get I'm waiting for the secretary to send me a link to the place where I can sign up for the substitute jobs. As soon as I start doing a few of those, I'm gonna go shopping. Yeah, thanks. I knew it wasn't going to be an issue. I mean, the superintendent signed my license when I had to renew it, so I knew it wasn't going to be a problem. And I'm subbing in the district that I graduated from years ago, and that my kids were all raised in. So the district where my mother wrote the alma mater at the school. So uh, I knew it wasn't going to be an issue. Yeah, I'm thinking about. There's a place up here called Clothes Mentor. So I'm going to go see what they have. So yeah, great roots they are, and it's a nice little town. But I live in the town over now, but it's a good school district. So I mean, all my kids were athletes there, and I mean, all of my brothers and sisters and I graduated from the school district. So the town I live in now isn't all that small. It's smaller than Toledo. Hi, Ellen. Welcome. It's smaller than Toledo, but it's a growing area, and it's going to get bigger now because we're getting an Amazon warehouse out here. So there are all kinds of housing developments going up, and all I'm worried about is we better get prime delivery same day. So wow, good for you, Kim. That's awesome. When I started Weight Watchers, I was taking 4 different blood pressure medications every day. And now I'm taking one, and I'm only taking the one probably until January, until this prescription runs out, only because she didn't want to take me off of all of them at once. So it's amazing what weight loss can do. Kim, how much have you lost? So one of my subscribers asked me if we could do an instant pot / air fryer collab. What do you guys think about that? People show what they what they make in their air fryer and their Instant Pot. Do you think that would be helpful? Wow, 120 pounds. That is so awesome. How long did it take you to do that? You think it's a good idea? Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe hosting it here in a maybe beginning of November or something. So I don't have an Instant Pot anymore. The Instant Pot that I used was my daughter's that actually I bought her for Christmas one year. And I sort of miss it. I've told them I would like to have an Instant Pot again, but so Karen, where do you live? Yes, I think maybe I don't. I think maybe I'm gonna host this collab on. I use the air fryer quite a bit, but which brand, the pros and cons? I'll tell you what. I got just a regular. It's just called Instant Pot, and that's the company that made it for my daughter. And I started making my own yogurt when I was out there. And I'll tell you what, it's so sad because I don't have that Instant Pot to do yogurt in anymore. It was the best yogurt I had ever tasted. Yeah, I have a George Foreman too that I didn't realize I had anymore. I found it at the storage unit. Um, and I've used it a couple times. And but the air fryer, I cook my chicken in there all the time. Matter of fact, yesterday when I had that hamburger patty, I cooked that in the air fryer too. Yeah, I know all about space. I mean, I have a nice sized kitchen here, but your kitchen can never be big enough. I think. Air fryer pressure cooker. So is that different from the Instant Pot? Barb, I cooked almost everything in that Instant Pot. The soups that I made, I cooked in there. Any kind of sauce. Dixon, Tennessee. I'm not sure where that's at. Kim, it must have, did I see you on Facebook? Was that your post that I saw of that scoopable apple pie, the one from Hungry Girl? Because I think I'm going to try that one. Yeah, that looked awesome. Did you taste it? And you said, didn't you say she was making the 2 ingredient dough to go with it? I have one of Hungry Girl's cookbooks. I think it's called 200 Under 200. It's 200 recipes under 200 calories. I haven't really used it a whole lot. Oh, I bet those tarts are really good. Now I'm getting hungry for something sweet. I'm trying to keep up with the comments that are coming in. So, as y'all know, I have this little competition going on with Sandy at over at Let's Get Fit with Sandy to get to 100 pounds first. So she had, I think, a 1.2 loss this week. I think I'm still ahead of her. I don't remember what her total loss is. Somewhere around 72 pounds, maybe. So I think I may be 4 or 5 pounds ahead of her. I'm 77.1 today. So I need to be 77.9 to get into Wonderland. Yep, Sandy's doing great too. She's got a fire lit under her right now too. So I was going to send her a t-shirt that had Team Sue written on it. Think she'd wear it? So we're both sort of spurring each other on. It's kind of funny that whenever I go to the refrigerator and I'm thinking I'm going to fix something that I shouldn't have, I think of Sandy. I think, okay, yeah, I can't do this. I've got to, uh, I've got to beat her to 100 pounds. So she's trying to get to 100 by the end of the year. I'm not quite so hooked on a timeline. I just know that I want to keep going and keep doing what I'm doing. Because right now, 80 is looking really good to me. 80 pounds, because I'm so close to that. But my first goal is to get to Wonderland by my birthday. So, and I don't know why I chose that either. Originally I wanted to lose 95 pounds this year, or 90 pounds this year. Well, that's not going to happen. I don't remember where I'm at right. I think I'm right around 35 pounds right now for the year. So if I can lose, this is September and it's taken me all 9 months to lose, almost October, gosh, taken me, 9 months to lose 35 pounds. There's no way I'm going to get to 90 pounds by the end of the year. But, if I could get to 80 by the end of the year, I'd be happy. So anyway, anybody make anything really good this week other than an apple pie filling? I don't know if you saw my video the other day. I made that brothel using the sugar-free brownie mix. And I added some apple pie spice to it just to, add a little bit of more flavor to it. Boy, was that good. Taco soup. Do you use ground turkey or ground beef in taco soup? Donna, I think it's okay to lose slow. 22 so far this year. That's great. That's a lot of weight, Kim. Oh, you use a chicken breast. Is that a recipe you got off of WW? I've been dehydrating my tomato skins since Thursday, and I'm still on the same 2 dehydrators. And it's like they start to crisp up, and then I let them set for a little bit because I have to cool them, and then they start getting soft again. So I think right now it's just too humid. The ones that I have in the refrigerator right now, I'm going to throw in the freezer until we get rid of all this humidity here. Because I guess, it's nice today and it's supposed to be nice tomorrow, but by the end of the week, it's supposed to be up to 90 again. So, yeah, I think slowly is best, Kim. I think it stays off better and you maintain it better. So I know that I'm okay with my progress because, forward motion is always good progress. But there are days when I wish I could lose more quickly. But I think my body needs time to adjust to any weight loss. Yeah, it's going to get hot again. This is the false fall. These these couple days. I don't know how the weather is where you're at, but today was gorgeous. Yesterday was gorgeous. And I think tomorrow's supposed to be gorgeous. But, by the time Friday night football rolls around, it's supposed to be really hot again. So yeah, I'm going to go to the football game again Friday night. It's a home game. Now, I like to go to the home games because I get in free. So Diane, I live in a small town outside of Toledo, Ohio. So I can be in Canada in 45 minutes. Yeah, Sandy is, Sandy's not that far from me. I think she's like an hour and a half away from me, but she's just a little further north than the airport, I think. You live in Maine? I've always wanted to see Maine. I've never been there. Um, I would love to go to New England in the fall. My next to the youngest son played basketball for a small college in Vermont, and I loved going up there, like at the end of October. Yeah, Vermont, I think is just gorgeous. He was at a school in Bennington, Vermont, and it's just, it was just beautiful. St. Louis, or do you say Louis? I drive through St. Louis or around it a lot when I go to Oklahoma, because that's where 70 connects with 44. So I remember the first time I drove over there, uh, I was so nervous driving around St. Louis. It was when my son was graduating from boot camp. He went to Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri, and we were going there for his boot camp graduation. It was the first time I had driven around St. Louis, and it made me a nervous wreck. Karen, I lived in San Francisco for about 6 months in another lifetime. So I used to go and take my guitar to Ghirardelli Square, and I would stand in Ghirardelli Square for, oh gosh, the better part of a day with my guitar case open, and I would just be singing and playing, and I made a lot of money. So, and I haven't ever been back there. Oh, hmm. In October, at some point, I'm going to Oklahoma. I have to go get the rest of my stuff. When I moved out of the condo after my son died, uh, my stuff got scattered everywhere. Some of it stayed here in the storage unit. Some of it went with my son down in Lima. I took a lot of it with me because I was heading up to Idaho eventually. But I went and I spent a couple weeks in Oklahoma, and so he's got a lot of my stuff that I left there. And well, he's even got more now because when I left Idaho to come back here in the spring, I couldn't fit everything into my car, and my daughter drove to Oklahoma to visit friends down there this summer, and she took all the rest of my stuff from there down to Oklahoma. So I need to go to Norman, Oklahoma, and collect the rest of my stuff. And I think I'm going to do that in October, maybe take a little birthday trip or something. So, well, guys, we've been on here for about 45 minutes. So I think I'm going to call it a night. I'm so glad that I finally got this working. Last week was so frustrating to me that I couldn't. If you haven't joined my Sue Slims Down Facebook page, please go do that, because if I have more internet problems and I can't do my live feeds on Tuesday night on my computer, I can do my Facebook Live on my Sue Slims Down page from my phone. So anyway, so please go over there and join it. I haven't been real active on that page lately, but I'm going to start being more active there, uh, so that y'all know where to find me. So anyway, we'll talk more next week. I'm going to keep looking at the weekly focuses on the Facebook on the Weight Watchers page, so we'll have something to talk about. So you guys have a great night, and I will see you on my daily vlog, which I have to upload yet tonight. So thanks everybody for joining in, and I'll see you next week.